We're going for a watch along. This is for the Qatar versus Senegal game. It is all already on right now, and it'll be interesting to see who is going to win this one because a lot has been said about this game, and this appears to be a match, a game where I'm guessing that Senegal is going to register its first points. They've got a great team and a great lineup to present. They're having a 4-4-2 formation, Senegal. It is being led by Eduardo Mendy, who is manning the goal. And as far as the defense is concerned, you have the defensive operations being headed by Kalidou Koulibaly. You have Mendy, Ismaili Sarr, Gaye, Diatta manning the midfield, and Dedu and Dia taking care of the forward options. Qatar seems to have gone with practically the same team as they did in their opener against Ecuador, and Al Hados is the one who is leading the team again, and he has taken over the midfield duties. Even though he is a number 10 player, it seems that he has chosen to stick more closer to the midfield rather than be an attacking option. So again, here it'll be very interesting to see how exactly these teams take on each other because Senegal is definitely not going to be too coy about attacking. They have great attacking options, uh, starting all the way from the midfield. Ismaili Sarr, Mendy, Dedu, and Dia, all these players, they are very, very adept when it comes to having taken on various defenses across various tournaments. They had done fairly well during the African Cup of Nations, so it'll be interesting to see how they approach this game. If we go back to the Ecuador versus Qatar match, it was almost clear that well, Qatar does not have the kind of attack or the midfield to take on any good teams in this World Cup. They managed to qualify by way of being the hosts for the tournament. So it is going to be interesting to see whether they are able to do anything significant against a team which boasts of some fairly good talent, players who play in some of the biggest leagues in Europe. So that is something that is going to be interesting to watch. As far as the team itself is concerned, like I said, they had not made any big changes. I can see that Almoez Ali is also there on the field, and they are going to try their best to make sure that they don't concede an early goal. They've done a fairly good job so far, keeping Senegal at bay. But how long is that going to happen? Only time will tell. We are at the 25-minute mark now. It seems that Senegal has had the best chances as far as this game is concerned, but unfortunately, they have not been able to convert any of their chances. So we are still waiting to see whether they are able to score that goal. Right now, as we speak, Qatar seems to be making. Ah, that was a rash shot. That was a rash and a wild shot. It is something. This is where Qatar has been lacking a lot. They're the host nation. They're the first host nation, by the way, to have lost the opening game. That has been a record that was being held by the host nations till before Qatar 2022. So it's quite a big surprise that teams are finding it easy to beat them. Unlike their opponents today, Qatar does not have any big player to boast about. So they are going to find it a little. They are going to find it a little difficult to, you know, match talent for talent, if we could put it that way. On paper, yeah, as far as the Asian countries are concerned, Qatar is ranked quite high. But if we look at the world rankings, Qatar is even though they are ranked above many other teams, but when it comes to the game, they are going to find it very difficult. They found it very, very difficult. It was very difficult for them to play against even the likes of Ecuador, who are not exactly considered to be, a giant football team, but they hardly managed to register a goal. A shot on target, if I sorry for that, a shot on target while they were playing Ecuador, and it seems that even as they're facing Senegal, nothing much has changed. Senegal has taken a corner, and that was to no effect. And yeah, it's not. It has not been. It's not been a great game. It's not been a great tournament for Qatar so far, and it seems that the script from their opening game is what is going to be repeated, because they clearly don't look like a side that is going to pose any significant threat to Senegal. If you talk about Group A, Ecuador and Netherlands are the two teams that have registered wins. Netherlands had beaten Senegal 2-0 in their opener. Oh, that was almost a chance. Barsham, the Qatari goalkeeper, has had to do a little too much in these opening few minutes. We are approaching the half-hour mark, and it has been Senegal all the way. Qatar has hardly ever managed to pose any real threat moving forward. Their game is mostly limited to their own half, and this is where the gulf in quality comes into question as far as Senegal and Qatar are concerned. Qatar clearly seems to be a lot more confident playing today. They have been moving the ball forward. Uh, they have issues in finishing it off in the final third of the pitch, because the Senegalese defense is has been able to keep them away from any possible threatening attacks. There was one where Afif was involved. He had gone in. He had the chance to take a shot, but instead he tried to draw a foul. But that was not to be. That tackle was clean enough for them. Oh, right as I was talking to you, Barsham, the Qatari goalkeeper, he has committed more than a few almost howlers, if I could put it that way, because he has not been handling the ball as well as a goalkeeper should be, especially while playing at the World Cup. He seems like he wants to do a little bit more than just man the goal post, and he's trying to pass the ball, come and collect it way much further out of his box, out of his position, and that has given Qatar a few scares. Qatar will be hoping that they don't end up conceding a goal because of Barsham's antics, because the way he has been conducting himself so far, it could get the team to panic when the ball is in their half. And there you have it. Senegal has broken the deadlock at the 40-minute mark, the 41st minute, if I'm not mistaken. This was expected. It was coming. This was coming. Bole Dia, he's the one who has scored the goal for Senegal. Dia is the forward for Senegal. He plays in that number 9 position, and yeah, it was a striker's goal. The pass came in from the left flank. The defender bundled it up completely. It was a gift. It was a gift for Dia. Koki was the Qatari defender who bundled that cross that had come in from the left flank, and all that Dia had to do was to poke the ball in, and that's what he did. So Senegal looks set to maybe walk away from this match with their first points of the tournament. This is also Senegal's first goal of the tournament. They had lost to Netherlands 2-0 in their opener, but it now clearly seems that they will get their first points of this tournament, because I really don't think that Qatar looks dangerous enough or capable enough to score against Senegal as things stand. They need to do something very different. They need to figure out how. 'Cause, 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 Okay, so Afif, Afif is the striker for Qatar, and he's still arguing with the referee about that possible penalty that he thinks should have been awarded to him. This had happened a few minutes ago when Qatar had made that first run into the Senegalese box, but the referee decided not to award him that not to award him with not to award him that penalty. Sorry. Okay, we thought that this was going to be a corner for Senegal, but it was an offside. That goal which Senegal has conceded, it was off a mistake by the Qatari defender Koki, and yeah, it should not have been the case. And the way Qatar is playing right now, it does not look like they are in any mood to move forward and score a goal. Senegal, on the other hand, feel much more confident moving forward, and it clearly looks like they will they will win this game. Okay, some injury concerns coming up for Qatar there. It was their player. I'm not fully sure who this was. I think this is Pedro Miguel, their defender, who has taken a knock. Qatar has gone in with a fairly defensive mindset. In fact, if I look at both the teams, the formation, it is very much clear who has more intent to attack. Qatar has gone in with a 5-3-2 formation, five players manning the defense, and as far as Senegal is concerned, they have gone for a 4-4-2 uh, 4-4-2 formation, clearly looking to attack from the flanks, and that did work. The first goal, the pass that was put in for the first goal, the cross that was put in for the first goal, that was from the left flank. It was bundled by the Qatari defender. He had got his foot on it, but he slipped and ended up gifting that ball to Dia, who managed to score Senegal's first goal of this tournament. 7 minutes have been added as extra time for the first half. It's not something that we need to be too surprised of, because this tournament, in most matches, we have seen some very high number of extra time being added, it regardless of the fact whether it's the first or the second half. More than a few games in this tournament have crossed the 100-minute mark because of the extra time that has been added. I'm not sure whether it's a record or not, but the England game, they had 14 minutes of added time because of the knock that the Iranian goalkeeper had suffered. About 6 more minutes to go for the first half to come to an end, and it's been all Senegal. There's hardly been any sort of attack, there's hardly been any intent going forward as far as Qatar is concerned, and they have also got a yellow card. Qatar has bagged the first yellow of the evening, it seems. Homam is the player who has acquired that yellow card. Homam Ahmed. Homam Ahmed is the Qatari player who has backed the yellow card. He is a defender who plays on the left flank, sorry, of the formation for Qatar. Senegal is continuing to attack the Qatari half, but it does not look like they're going to be able to do anything right now. I think they're playing it safe. They want the half to end, and nothing much seems to be happening for Qatar. They're trying their best to win back the ball, but nothing seems to be working for them. There's a cross in, but yeah, Parsham has collected and he has rolled the ball back into play. So we are winding down to the final seconds of the first half. As I said before, it's all Senegal. Qatar has hardly managed to get anything on the other half. Again, in this game, the first half is over, the whistle has been blown. Qatar has zero shots on target. That is how bad they have been in this tournament. They have played 1.5 games so far, and 0 shots on target. This is probably one of the worst performances by a host nation in at the FIFA World Cup. Possession was 61-39 in favor of Senegal. Uh, both teams were fairly physical. Qatar has 5 fouls. They picked up 2 yellow cards. Senegal has committed 4 fouls. They have picked up 1 yellow card. And yeah, it has all been Senegal. They've had a total of 3 shots on target, converting one of them. Even if you look at the number of passes and the accuracy of it, it's much higher for Senegal. So it will be very interesting to see how the second half plays out, because it well and truly looks like Qatar is going to get knocked out without scoring a goal, without probably not even having a shot on target. Afif had a great chance when he had penetrated into the Senegalese box, but yeah, he chose to draw the foul rather than choose to try and draw the foul rather than go for the scoring shot, and the referee denied him any leniency as far as the foul was concerned. He was not awarded a foul. He was not awarded the penalty, which he continues to believe, if you look at the exchanges between him and the referee, which he continues to believe should have been awarded that penalty. So as the game stands right now, it's half time. The whistle has been blown. Senegal 1, Qatar 0. The hosts continue to forget about getting the first goal. They're trying to get the first shot on target. And the way they have been playing, it looks like the second half is going to be the same, and it's all up to Senegal as far as how many goals need to be scored in this game. And Qatar have conceded a second goal. Didiu, the second striker for Senegal, is the one who headed in from that corner. It was a terrific header. The goalkeeper had no chance of saving it. Things not looking good for Qatar at all. This happened just within the first 3 minutes of the second half. So I think it is becoming very, very clear what is going to happen to Qatar from here on. I have a fear that this is going to turn into a goal fest when we are left with just about 30, 20 minutes of the game, where you know players are not going to where the players are not going to be fresh enough. They're not going to be able to move around quick enough, and it is going to become very, very difficult for Qatar to move on from here. Uh, it's going to be very difficult for Qatar to actually play on from here. A two-goal lead, even to equalize against the likes of Senegal, I really doubt Qatar has it in them, because even now they are trying to keep their defenses in place. They are not able to move the ball forward, and they are trying to add some creativity to the play, but to no effect. So it is going to become very, very difficult for Qatar to start this off. And finally, Qatar have their first goal of the tournament. Wow, they finally have the first goal of the tournament. That's amazing. That is amazing. Oh, with 12 minutes of regulation time remaining, Qatar has scored their first ever World Cup goal. The hosts are in it. It's it's unbelievable. Oh man, it is unbelievable. They have finally scored a goal. The goal was scored by Famara Dedu. Oh, sorry, this goal was scored by Mohammad Muntari in the 78th minute. Wow, I am really impressed with Qatar. They finally managed to score, and yeah, it was by their striker Mohammad Muntari, and wow, you should be listening to the crowd right now. You should be listening to the crowd right now. They're cheering the home crowd has finally come to the party. They're cheering their team, and yeah, Montari made that switch on the right, and he had enough time to set himself to send that curling cross to the middle. Montari wanted it, and he got it. It was a thumping header that has helped Qatar get its first ever World Cup goal. Amazing. All this while we were wondering whether they would actually get on the shots on target list, and they did manage to cause some problems for Senegal after Senegal had scored their second goal. They had two shots on target. It was the third one that got them the goal. So Qatar is now officially in the party, and they will now look to get that equalizer. If they are going to be able to show the kind of intent that we have been seeing from them over the last 15 minutes, where they have just gone in head on, head first, trying to get the goal, I'm pretty sure that we could see this game equalized. You can see the Qatari players trying to press forward, making the Senegalese defenders do a little more than what they have had to over the last 60 minutes, if I could say so. Mohammad Muntari has made history for Qatar. He is the first Qatari footballer to score a World Cup goal for them. And we just have about 8 minutes of regulation time, 7.5 minutes of regulation time to be more precise. And yeah, I want to see whether they manage to get that equalizer or not. Let's not discount Senegal here, guys, because Senegal does look like they want to get that third goal, and they are doing everything that they can to get there. And that is it. I was just saying this. That is Senegal's third goal, and I think that's it for Qatar. There is no way that they're going to be able to score two more with less than 6 minutes remaining on the clock. Oh, Bamba Dieng has scored Senegal's third in the tournament and in this match, and that's it. This was the nail in the coffin. This was the nail in the coffin. Qatar had committed too many players forward. Their defenders could not come back in time to take that ball that was crossed in from the right flank, and Bamba Dieng slamming that into the Qatari goal. Qatari players are distraught. They are distraught. When it was 2-1, you could see there was so much optimism. They were committing players forward, but this is essentially all over. This is essentially all over for Qatar from here on. Just about 5 minutes of regulation time left, and I really don't see Qatar managing to score twice against Senegal. Oh, suddenly the stadium is also much quieter than what it was earlier. When that goal was scored, the first Qatari goal was scored, there was so much cheer, there was so much noise in the background. But yeah, now when you look at it, it's all quiet. The entire home crowd has been silenced. But say what you want, this is a massive improvement as far as Qatar is concerned, because they initially did not have a single shot on target, but now they do. They have a goal, they have a World Cup goal to their name. But Senegal, they came in with a certain level of quality. We expected to see goals from them, and they have not disappointed. They've scored thrice against the Qataris, and yeah, it's. I think it's going to be. I think it is going to be Senegal and Netherlands. Netherlands and Senegal in that order, who will top Group A. We'll get a confirmation on that in the next game that's going to be played. We'll be getting you updates for that as well. But for many Qatari fans, this would feel like a heartbreaker. So we have 6 minutes of added time as far as the second half is concerned. Again, not much because there were not too many untoward incidences in this entire game. And I think it's all but over for Qatar from here on. Senegal with a clinical display in front of the goal, scoring 3 goals. Qatar managed to get their first goal of the World Cup, their first ever World Cup goal, in fact. But that was clearly not ever going to be enough against a team like Senegal, which possesses some really good attacking talent. So the clock is winding down. We have less than 5 minutes to go for this game to end. We'll be getting you updates of the next game in the schedule, that is between Netherlands and Ecuador. That game could all but seal the deal for at least one team to go forward. It does look like Netherlands would most likely win that game given the kind of quality that they possess. But you never know. Ecuador has a few players in their squad who can spring a surprise. That was a good ball in, but it was kept out by Barsham, the Qatari player. Just about 3 minutes to go for the game. Just about 3 minutes. That's all that there is left in this game. Netherlands versus Ecuador will be the next game that will be played. But yeah, Qatar has something to cheer about, even though they are going to be losing this game. It was never in doubt that Senegal would lose, that Senegal would not win this game. But yeah, Qatar still trying to do something. If they can get one more goal in, they can walk out with some pride, but it seems that is not going to happen tonight. Senegal now pushing forward. They're taking their time. They're in no hurry. Clearly, I mean, they have a 2-goal lead. The clock is winding down. Less than a minute and a half to go for the half to end. Qatar seems to be going in now. Will they get it? No. It's a wide shot from outside the box. Almoez Ali, one of the prolific goal scorers, was trying to curl that ball in, but no effect. Less than 2 minutes to go for the game to end. And it clearly does look like Qatar does not have anything left in their tank, because you can see the players, they're dejected. They are not able to cope with the kind of pace, the kind of talent, the kind of skill that the Senegalese team possesses. In the dying seconds of the game, it seems that Senegal has a penalty, and they are not looking to do anything fancy with it. They've been awarded another corner. Sorry, it was a corner, not a penalty. My mistake. It was a corner. They've got another one, and they are just trying to wind the clock down. And that's it. That is it. That's the end. Qatar has been knocked out. Qatar has been knocked out. Senegal has registered their first win of the tournament, and those 3 goals that they have scored will give them some cushion when they face either Netherlands or Ecuador. Sorry, when they face Ecuador in their next game. If Netherlands beats Ecuador in the game that is coming up next, then Senegal will get that chance to finish the group number 2 and qualify for the round of 16. So that's it, guys. The game is over. 3-1 at full time to Senegal. And if you look at the stats, in the second half, the performance was way better. It was much, much better the way Qatar had played in the second half. The possession was 45-55 in favor of Senegal, but 45% possession, not bad. The number of passes that went in from Qatar had also increased, but their passing quality was not that great. Senegal tried to be a lot more physical as compared to Qatar when it came to the challenges. They have picked up 12 fouls. Fortunately, no red cards there, even though there were 3 yellows. As far as shots on target are concerned, that is where I'm a little surprised. Senegal have just 5 shots on target. They managed to convert 3 of them. And Qatar had 3 shots on target and they converted 1 of them. But what a game for Qatar. They have got their first World Cup. I mean, it's a bittersweet moment for them. They got their first ever World Cup goal. It looked like they could maybe even at some point walk away with a point, but that was not to be. Bole Dia had scored the first goal for Senegal, followed by Famara Diadou's second goal within just first 3 minutes of the second half. And then Mohamed Muntari of Qatar making history for the host nations by scoring their first ever World Cup goal at the 78-minute mark. Then you had Bamba Dieng scoring that third goal, that nail in the coffin for Qatar at the 84-minute mark. So that's where the game stands now. 3-1 in favor of Senegal. Qatar knocked out of their inaugural World Cup. We are now going to focus on Netherlands versus Ecuador, 2 teams from Group A who already have a win under their belt. Their stats are practically the same. Both of them won by a margin of 2 goals. They've not conceded any. But given the kind of talent that Netherlands has, it does appear as if they are going to make it through comfortably and even top the group. If Ecuador loses today, that opens up the space for Senegal to qualify as well, provided they beat Ecuador in their next meeting. But we are yet to see something to that effect take shape. Ecuador versus Netherlands. That's the next game that we'll be covering. We'll be back with the score updates, score and the stats update in a short while from now. So we are all set and geared up for the third game of today. That's Netherlands versus Ecuador. It's the second game from Group A that we will be having. Netherlands and Ecuador both have managed to get on the score sheet, and they have the required points. Whoever wins this game today, their position in their qualification, sorry, for the round of 16 will be confirmed. So there's a lot to be played for here. On paper, Netherlands looks like a very strong team. They have got an excellent defensive lineup. They have got a fairly good midfield, and their strike force is also looking good. We saw Memphis Depay, who was out with an injury for a very long period, coming back into the team and doing really well. It'll be very interesting to see where he stands as far as Netherlands attack is concerned. He looked very promising in that game against Senegal, and it'll be interesting to see how much of an impact he's going to have in this match. If everything goes according to plan for Netherlands, they will become the first team to qualify for the round of 16 for FIFA World Cup 2022. And yeah, we are all geared up for it. In a very short while, we will be getting you more updates on the team. The formation and the lineup are yet to be announced. We'll be getting you that information in a short while from now.